I'm going to introduce you to something called a monohybrid cross, and then I'll show you another video where we actually do them. I have to keep my videos to about 5 minutes each. So monohybrid cross means we are crossing one trait. So that might be the trait whether it's tall or short, whether it's a wrinkled pea or a round, smooth pea, something like that. But we're looking at one trait. A monohybrid cross is going to have 4 Okay, so mono means, one trait, but we're going to have 4 possibilities in the offspring. Okay, one trait with 4 possibilities. So that means that each box is going to represent 25%. And we're going to answer a lot of these questions in percentage. Or we might answer it in like 1 in 4, 2 in 4. Remember, that would be the same thing as a 1/2 or a 50% chance. A 3 in 4 chance is 3/4 or a 75% chance, or all 4 is 100% probability. Okay, so that basic probability stuff, that's what we're getting into here. And when we have 4 squares, we're, pretty simple. Okay, you might see an X up here, or you may not. It really doesn't matter. I never put the X's up there. It just means you've got a cross. You might see this. Remember, that's the sign for a female. And you might see the circle with the arrow. That is the sign for a male. So it might be customary to put the male, female in a certain position, but I don't really pay much attention to that, and it really doesn't matter whether you put the female at the top, male at the bottom. That's not a big deal, so don't get stressed out about that. But I do want you to know, because you might see those. Now, remember that we are looking at one particular trait, so you're going to just have 4 squares. Now, also our wording, because all these are going to be like in word problems, so we got to be able to interpret our words. So if we say the words homozygous, so homozygous tall. Tall is going to be the dominant one, and usually we'll be told somewhere that tall is dominant versus short is recessive. That would be a capital T, a capital T. If we see heterozygous tall, capital T, little t. And remember, both of these, the phenotypes would be tall, because the capital is dominant under just normal dominant genetics, heredity. Now, we'll see some other cases where we have some blending kind of things going on, but under just normal dominance, your capital will be the trait that is seen in the phenotype. Okay, so the phenotype, P-H-E-N-O, phenotype would be the characteristic tall. 2 different genotypes, okay, genotype is the letter. 2 different genotypes will give you the phenotype of tall. Now, we could also have the possibility of a homozygous short or a homozygous recessive trait, which would be 2 small letters. Okay, so this genotype would give you the phenotype of short. Okay, so remember, genotype is your letters, phenotype is your characteristic, a capital letter is your dominant trait, a small letter is your recessive trait.